Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video day. And today, the Los Angeles Lakers have hired JJ Redick as their next head coach. JJ Redick, who has no head coaching experience, but who has a lot, and I mean a lot of basketball IQ, is being brought in as the new Lakers head coach. I mean, he has so much, and he's showcased all of this on his podcast and ESPN, where he's worked as, commentator, and he showed it with, his podcast with LeBron James, who's now going to be, coaching LeBron. So it's going to be really interesting. I wonder to see what's going to happen with JJ Redick. I mean, he has a couple really cool podcasts. I wonder if those stop happening now that JJ Redick's going to be the Lakers head coach. He has one podcast with LeBron James, which is been very successful and a really, really good podcast. And then he has another podcast that's been really successful. I can't remember. It's like 3 Minute Old Men or something like that. And that's been really successful as well, where he has NBA players as guests, and he has a co-host as well. I wouldn't think that podcast would happen anymore with him having the Lakers job. I mean, obviously, potentially, it could be a thing he does in the offseason, but as much as it's going to be great to see him coach, and he's going to be the head coach for the Lakers, NBA fans lose a lot with him, becoming the head coach. I mean, 2 great podcasts are probably over now that he's the head coach. Also, lose someone who was great for ESPN. I mean, ESPN's already fired Jeff Van Gundy and Mark Jackson, who were great to watch on ESPN for basketball fans. And now, their replacement, JJ Redick, who was absolutely outstanding, well, now he's going to be the head coach for the Lakers. So, it's going to be great for him coaching. I'm happy for him, but for basketball fans who love watching his basketball knowledge and listening to him, basketball fans do kind of lose here a little bit, just because, the reason he does all this stuff, the podcast, and what he does on ESPN that me and I know a lot of other fans enjoy to watch, is the reason why he's getting this job. I mean, it's not often you see an NBA team who actually is one of the most successful teams in NBA history outside of the Boston Celtics' 18 championships. They're number 2 in championships. Not only that, but they have considered the best player of all time on their team, LeBron James. If most people consider him the GOAT, other people consider him either 2 or 3. He's one of the best of all time is the point. A team that has a guy like that, also a team that has another star player like Anthony Davis, who's one of the best players in this league as well, next to LeBron James. A team that has their asses on the line here a little bit. So, it shows, it definitely shows that a team that has so much success and so much talent right now is willing to hire a head coach with no experience. No college experience, no NBA head coach experience, or not just head coaching experience, no coaching experience whatsoever. He's been thrown so many assistant jobs, but he's just stayed with ESPN in his podcast, which probably was a good decision. And now he finally gets the NBA head coaching job, and he's going to be coaching one of the most successful teams in NBA history, who's won the second most NBA championships in NBA history, and he's going to be coaching 2 of the best players in the NBA right now, Anthony Davis and LeBron James. You can't ask for a better situation for him. But he's someone who's played in this league, played in the league for a long time, has a lot of respect from a lot of the players in this league. He played for so many teams. Let's go over the teams he played for. He played for Orlando. He played for the Clippers. He played for Philadelphia, New Orleans, Milwaukee, and Dallas. Dallas was the last team he spent time with. He retired after the 2020-21 season, called it a career. Is one of the best 3-point shooters of all time. I mean, you probably select top 10 three-point shooters of all time. He's probably in that list. Career three-point shooter of 44, or sorry, that's his field goal percentage, 44%. Career three-point shooter of 42%. Even had a season in 2015-16 season where he shot 48% from three, which is the highest he's ever had in a season. That was on shooting 6 3-point attempts per game. So, yeah, he's one of the most successful three-point shooters of all time as well. And is probably a top 10 three-point shooter of all time. So I'm happy to see JJ Redick get the coaching job he deserves. I think this is probably the best hire for the Lakers. You have so many great candidates that have been available. Mike Budenholzer was a guy who was Milwaukee's head coach. He got picked up by Phoenix. He would have been a great choice, but Phoenix beat them to it. Monty Williams is someone who's just fired by Detroit. I mean, good for him though. You have to be happy to get out of Detroit. So, but apparently the Lakers were not really interested in Monty Williams, but he's a very successful head coach, another NBA Finals head coach. But outside of Monty Williams and outside of Mike Budenholzer, I don't think there was anybody else better in this market to coach a Lakers team with LeBron James and Anthony Davis than JJ Redick. It's funny enough to say that outside of two NBA Finals head coaches, in Monty Williams and Mike Budenholzer, who have both been to NBA Finals. One has won an NBA Finals, and Mike Budenholzer, and both have won Head Coach of the Year awards. That outside of those two guys, probably the next best choice for this Lakers job is someone who has no experience whatsoever. There were talks about James Borrego, who was with Anthony Davis New Orleans, I believe, was the head coach for the Hornets. I didn't like that fit at all. I didn't think James Borrego did anything in Charlotte that would make him deserve to coach this Lakers team. So I felt like it was either going to be JJ Redick or James Borrego. And even with the JJ Redick who has no experience, I think JJ Redick deserved this job more than James Borrego did. Or I don't know about deserved, but definitely will do better with this job than James Borrego would do, in my opinion, would do. Let me know your thoughts, and peace out.